Hello, everyone. This is Cami.
And this is Steph, and this is the War Dolls Podcast.
On today's episode, we will be discussing Adeptagon registration and how all of that went this year, as well as talking to our special guest, Elle Firespray. So let's get to it. So, Steph, how did Adepticon registration go?
It actually wasn't terrible. There was about 10 minutes or so at the very beginning where we had two laptops, the iPad, and both of our phones going trying to get in. And we just kept getting kicked out and kicked out and kicked out. But after about 10 minutes or so, it was finally starting to let stuff in. And we were able to get all but one event for my stepdaughter. But we did get her on the wait list, and we found another event to put her in just in case she needed a slot filled. So, but we got everything else that we wanted, which was awesome. Got the swag bag that we wanted, which was great. And I mean, I think it went pretty smooth. Elle, did you have any issues with registration?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and it was funny because last year I remember that I registered and I was able to like get in right away, get the class and just check out pretty fast. And then people were like, just posting about it, it's just how difficult it was. And I'm just like, oh, the same thing will happen this year, I'm sure.
Yep.
And I went in there today that, you're out of you have no connection or something like that. And it kept kicking me out, and it's just I grabbed my phone like my other laptop, and I was just like really trying to get it to work. And I'm like, yeah, well, I'm just like, I'm just like one of everybody now.
We just kept hitting refresh on everything until you could get
it. Yes, like every 5 seconds. Like, please, no. There were like a couple of classes that I really wanted to go, and they were just like really limited quantities, and I was able to get them, thank God.
Awesome.
But I was panicking for a second.
Well, that's fantastic.
So what classes are you doing?
Well, I'm doing some Star Wars. I always do like the Star Wars trivia with my friends, but among the classes I took some painting with Sarastro, like the painting black and the painting of the Captain America's shield or something. I don't know. I'm always interested because Sarastro is just the painter that I started painting with, and we became pretty good friends. So it's just kind of fun to hang out at Adepticon and attend his classes. Last year was really fun, and actually, it's funny because his class was about learning to paint white. And I remember thinking like, well, okay, sure. I don't know. Can you pick anything more boring? And even he said that, And then, but you know what? Like when I went to his class, it was like really eye opening on he had a lot of tricks and tips on things. And actually, I was like, I'm really glad I took that class because I kept, applying those things after the class, and they were kind of new things. And it was really, I had to give it to him. I was like, yeah, okay, I take that back. That was pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, a lot of people struggle with white.
White seems to be one of the hardest things to paint.
Yeah, for me, white and black as well. So I'm excited for the black class that he has this year too.
That's awesome.
And he does have the white one, but I'm not taking that one because I did it last year already. But yeah, I'm excited for that.
Yeah,
that's so cool.
I'm doing my first painting classes this year at Adepticon. So I'm excited to learn some stuff from somebody else other than my husband.
That's
what classes are you taking?
I am taking it's called Whimdark. Something and spooky. I can't remember the exact name. It's by Zambi's Decay.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
I love Zambi. She's awesome.
Yeah. I saw her stuff on Instagram and I was like, I have to get into her class. So I'm doing that one, and then I'm doing a splash of color event with my stepdaughter.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, she did one of those last year by herself, and she loved it. So I wanted to do one with her this year.
What? Wait, I'm confused. Which one is the splash of color again?
It is by Weird Miniatures.
Okay.
It's just a show up, they give you a model, and you put color on it. It's not necessarily a class, it's just a kind of like a paint and take event.
Ah, yes,
Okay.
yes.
So you can kind of just do whatever you want. They have someone there to answer questions if you have questions, but it's more of just a hobby for a couple hours, do whatever you want, rather than a instructed class. But she had so much fun with it last year, I wanted to give it a try.
Oh, that is
And
so
that would
neat.
be fun to do together
Yeah,
too.
yeah. So I got both of us into the same class.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah,
I'm so excited for Adepticon.
me too. Cami, I wish you were going. We need to
I
find
wish I were going to.
we need to find a way to get you there.
I'll be there next year for sure. I just don't know if I can make it this year.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
So
man.
it's all right. It's all right. It'll happen when it's supposed to. So,
Mhm.
anyway, so
Anyway,
Elle is with us,
Yay!
and she is one of our war dolls. And what are the war dolls, I hear you ask? Well, let me tell you. The War Dolls are a group of geeky girls. It's my geek girl network, of which everyone is welcome. Women and non-binaries are very much welcome to join. We have a Facebook group. We have a Discord where we can all communicate with our peers, and you don't have to be a miniature painter. You whatever hobby you're into, come and join us, make some friends, um, and just have a good time. And on Thursday nights,
We have our hobby hang that we chat live on Discord. Everyone just kind of jumps on and we do a voice chat, and everyone does whatever hobby they're working on at the moment.
and it's a load of fun.
It is.
So on to our Q&A with our wonderful guest, Elle. So we've got some questions for you, Elle. First of all, right now, what particular hobby are you wrapped up in right now? What are you completely into?
hi, my name is Elle Firespray. I'm a miniature painter. I mainly focus on board game and war game miniatures. Um, Board game miniatures usually come unpainted, and what I do is I assemble them, prep them, and paint them and get them ready for the game on the tabletop or for Kickstarter campaigns or for whatever they're needed for I have a couple commissions for Adepticon coming up to be used there, so people can have fun with painting miniatures. So I do a little bit of everything, but it's always focused on the painting of the miniatures, which is what I love to do.
How did you get into painting miniatures to begin with?
Well, I started board gaming in 2011, and I will go to like game clubs and game nights and gaming stores, and we'll get together at friends' houses and play games. I just love games in general. And then this game Zombicide came out, and it was my first miniatures game that I've ever tried. It's a bunch of you're just there shooting a bunch of zombies. When zombies was just like a big thing back in the early 2010s.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is so cool, and I came across Sarastro's videos on how to learn how to paint them, and now I always like doing my nails, like doing some like intricate designs. I'm not a professional technician or anything, nail technician or anything like that, but I just always like watching videos and just try to replicate that in my nails.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I think maybe I can do this. After watching his video, he just make it. He's such a great teacher. He's been teaching he was a high school teacher for like 14, 15 years, and he's great at teaching. So his videos are very heavy on that, on just getting the information the way that you will understand it in an easy way. And I was just so amazed by just the content of the video and the fact that he made it look like I could just do it. So then I had my second child, and when I had my second child, my oldest one wasn't 2 years old yet. So I had a 1 year old and a newborn. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna be able to go out, get out of the house much, now that I have these kids, and I can't go to the game stores or game clubs like I used to. So I need to find something to do here at home, or I go crazy. As simple as that. So I just grabbed all my zombies and started, following the tutorials, and I just found it like so fun and something that I really enjoy doing. Obviously, I still have that first game that I've ever painted, and I look at it, it's just like, these are terrible, but to me, they're so endearing because this just remind me of my first steps into the hobby and how it made me feel like I was just doing something fun, something that I could use in the future playing games, even with my own children, when they grow up. So, and I just found something that just really clicked for me. I don't know, I
Yeah.
never really had that. I had other hobbies and other passions that I followed, but this is like the first time that I found something that I was just like, I really enjoy this, and I wanted to keep getting better at it, keep practicing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been about, yeah, so 9-10 years that I started.
That's
That's awesome.
And it's always so fun to go back and look at the stuff that you did early on, and just to see how far you've come, and like
Right, yeah.
see that improvement over time. Just as a reminder of like where you started, when you start getting down on what you're currently doing. Like, that's what I tend to do
Hmm.
a lot too, because I've only been painting for like a year now, and I look back at the first model I painted versus something I just did a couple months ago. I'm like, man, I really have come a long way in such a short time. So
Hmm.
it's always
Oh, for
nice to go
sure.
back and
Hmm.
look at what you've done when you first started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It's
wish I'd kept some of my first minis, but I wasn't thinking about that when I did. Also, I painted them in enamel, and it was pretty atrocious.
and yeah, well, during the pandemic, I had a lot of extra time, so I think that's when the online presence started to grow for me because I will do it more often, and I'll say, well, maybe I
Mm-hmm.
can share online, see what happens, and a lot of people really liked it, or
Mm-hmm.
so then I just started doing it more and more often. My children were a little older then too, so I was able to have a little extra time when when they learn how to when my last child learned how to wipe her own butt. That was just like, this is great. This is what I needed. This is what I wanted. So
That's
I
great.
just got a little more extra time. So it's just been, and they know what I do now, and they love it. They're 8, 9, and 10 right now. So yeah, they're very close. I would not recommend that to anybody. That's just my experience. Don't do that. But yeah, so they know what I do. They love seeing what I do, and I've done it with them too. And
Mm-hmm.
it's just been, yeah, it's just really fun
It's
to pass down something like that with them, and they really enjoy it too.
Yeah, it's so much fun to get the kids involved. Like, my stepdaughter, she's 13, and she dabbles in painting every now and then. Like I said, she did that splash of color event last year, and we're doing another one this year. But we've also talked her into doing the Golden Demon Youngbloods event this year. So
Okay.
she's gonna be painting a 40K model for the Youngbloods competition.
Ooh,
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that sounds fun.
yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. So, Elle, what is your favorite aspect of the hobby?
The favorite aspect of the hobby. Well, obviously I love the painting, the hands-on, but I also love the community that I found. Uh, I think I found a lot of friends, a lot of people that have helped me grow, not only as an artist but also as a friend, and I think just having people to talk to, or just have questions, or share what we do together. I think that's just probably my favorite part of the hobby. um I tend to be painting a lot, and I don't go out much, and I don't have any friends. No, just kidding. I do have friends, but I don't see them often. I don't
I
see them often. So my online community just became really like, where I am the most.
Same girl.
When it came to spending time, with friends, I tend to be more like an online kind of person because, I stay at home and I paint from here. I also work remote. I
Mm.
call it my big girl job. I do have a big girl job, and it pays all my bills and stuff. But I work remote, so I don't go anywhere. I don't have to go to
Oh,
another office or another building. I don't have people to interact with, so a lot of that gets filled with just my community online, and
that's awesome.
just sharing my painting and things like that. So
Well, you do have your game room, and I've seen you post pictures of people in there. Have you not
uh
done that in a while?
yeah, no, I haven't done that in a long
Oh,
time. But I do have a group. There's two friends that I will see every month to play one specific game. We play Cthulhu Death May Die, which has like different episodes. It's such a great game because every
Mm.
time we get together, we pick an episode to play, and it's always a different game, and there's so many characters to choose from, and they all seem to have cool abilities. So we get together and pick, okay, let's just do this episode, let's just play with these heroes and see if we can beat it. And it's been really great. My friends, we couldn't they couldn't make it last month. Well, we're hoping maybe next month to get together again. But yeah, that's just like the only thing, like the only resemblance to a gaming group that I have. I have these three friends that I play with. Um, so
that's still pretty amazing.
yeah,
I mean, and holidays are always hard to work
yes,
around. So
uh,
yeah,
yeah, it couldn't happen in December for obvious
yeah,
reasons, but
right,
hopefully it
right.
can happen next month. Yeah.
So, as a woman,
Mhm.
and being in the same hobby,
Mhm.
we're outnumbered by the men. Um, so, does that bother you at all? Does that ever have any effect on you? And how do you cope with that?
To be honest, like I see it, um, but I don't know if it's like something that affects me in any way. Has affected me in the past, it's just like it's a small minority of individuals who have maybe just crossed the line, or just misunderstandings, which just seems to happen a lot when there's a woman in a male dominated hobby. But I think in the vast majority of my experience in the hobby, and I'm not a uh, Warhammer gamer. I don't paint, or I'm not really into that Warhammer side of things. So I probably have a different experience than the female painters that are you know, in that game system. So I guess in general, my experience has been mostly positive,
Okay,
but there has been some instances where things were not okay, and
right.
Mm.
I'm pretty direct when those conflicts arise, or when there's just something unwanted. So, and it's funny because when I have a few close friends that are painters too, and I share this stuff with them. It's like, has this ever happened to you? And they're like, nope, it never happened to us. And I just see a little bit of it just seems like a little unfair. But I will say, in the vast majority of my experience, it's been overall positive. I do
Good.
like seeing like there are more women in the hobby. I love seeing like it is in the rise. I see a lot more women than I've seen, like 5 years ago, for example.
Mhm.
Hmm.
So that, I mean, it is slowly but steady. I will say slow but steady. Uh, I see that growth, and I'm excited about that.
Awesome. And good on you for calling it out when you see it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
We
for sure.
that
Yes.
that definitely needs to be what happens.
Yeah, I had a situation. I have several situations, but I think the ones that affected me the most, without going to too much detail on
Mhm.
things, it's when somebody just like tells you, they are supportive of your work and this and that, and you learn to trust, and they gain your trust, and then they just like, you know, say something very inappropriate to you, and then you realize like, oh, this person was just not being honest all this time, and they just had one goal in their mind, and I think that it's just a disappointment that, I thought you liked, or you were, my friend or supportive because you just like my work, but it's just, I don't know, like I said, it happens. People just, and I feel like it's women many times we are like conditioned to think like, oh, what did I do wrong,
Mhm.
how
Right.
did I maybe let this person on, or did I give mixed signals, or did I do something? But most times it's like, no, you didn't do anything. You just exist, and people just tend to feel like entitled to things sometimes when you're just not, consenting to
Right.
anything or okay with anything. So
Yep.
like I said, there's been very few, I will say, can count them with uh probably two hands. Yeah, there's just, not very many. I was gonna say with one hand, but it's like more, no, it's just more like,
Right.
but I will say, like, in all these years that I've been in the community, they have been very rare in between. So I'm guess I'm like one of the lucky ones, because I've heard some horror stories before where women just didn't feel very safe, and I thankfully I never had to go through that. um Oh yeah, no, I did go through that one time, but it's fine. I have help.
Well, good. Good.
Yeah. So, Elle, what advice do you have for any future war dolls who might be interested in this or really any hobby?
I think the first thing for me, what helped me, was just to make a plan. Many times, like, yeah, you think of, oh, I'm gonna do this sometime, and no, 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 no. Let's just sit down, make a plan. Just put it in your phone or something. Like, I'm gonna do this because I speak for myself as a mom. Many times we tend to, or as a woman in general, like, but mainly as a mom myself, I used to tend to put myself for last, or my needs, last. The kids, need this, the kids need that, my family. But it's just like, no, 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 no. You need to take care of yourself too. And that's
Mm-hmm.
probably the first thing I will say. Just grab that phone, look at the times you have, check out the dates, and then pick this time that's going to be just for you. And if you need to watch YouTube videos, you don't have to start like painting or doing, a hobby right away. Just
Mm-hmm.
watch some videos, just get yourself informed, save some articles to read when you're, downtime, and then just gathering some materials, and then just start and try it. I think there's just so many amazing content right now. Like 10 years
Mm-hmm.
ago, or I found like Sarastro's videos, but now there's just so many content out there to help people just on those first things, those first step, what you need to just start from zero, that I think they're very, very helpful, and like very, I love that that's available for people in general. Sometimes I feel like, oh, maybe I should make a video on how to start, but I'm like, there's just so much out there. I usually just tell, okay, you go watch your video, go do this, go check this out, and then let's return and get together and paint. Um, but the first thing I will say is just that, and just get the time to learn and practice. Um, don't get discouraged, which is very difficult when you just start,
Mm-hmm.
because you tend to compare your work with other people.
Yep.
And something that my friend Mark said about this, say, like, comparison is a thief of joy. So it's hard not to, but
Yeah.
just don't do
Yeah.
it. And if you before you start painting, take a picture of that great miniature, and then when you are done, take a picture of your new miniature and compare them, and
Mhm.
it's gonna look 100 times better painted than gray, in whatever
Yeah.
state it is, and you, with practice, you will get better and better. And I don't know. I try not to get discouraged. Is a tough one, but I think it does really help if you go with the right mentality to start
Right.
on
Yeah.
any hobby, But
Yeah.
for me, with my experience with miniature painting, it's just this is where you are within your journey, and you'll get there someday
Mhm.
too, if you keep
Right.
practicing. Hmm.
And
And it's your journey. You don't, like
Exactly.
you
Yep.
said, don't compare yourself
They're
to
somewhere
other
else
people.
in their own
it's
Right.
journey. You
it
are
Right.
here.
it's
Hmm.
so hard not to compare yourself to others. Like anytime
Hmm.
I sit down to paint with my husband, if he like I look at what he's doing and then I look at what I've done and I'm
Hmm.
like, I am nowhere near on your level, but he's been doing this for almost 30 years. Like he started when he was
Oh
10
wow.
years old. So I've
Oh
only been
Yeah.
doing
gosh.
it for 1 year and I'm like, I have to stop
Right.
comparing
Right.
myself to him. He's like
Right.
Yeah.
so many levels above me that it
You
I just
you
have
were
to
in
stop.
different stages of your journey.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Like, so so Elle, what kind of if you sit down to paint
Hmm.
and what motivate, like, if you don't have the motivation to paint, is there
Hmm.
anything you do to get motivated, or is there
Hmm.
uh is there a mindset you get yourself into? How do you do that?
Yeah, I you do get that. You do get sometimes just a little bit of a the lack of motivation to paint. Yes, that is something normal that happens to everybody.
Mhm.
And some people like to take like their own time, and what's best for you, right? You decide. For me, what helps me to sit down actually is just watching some of my friends stream on Twitch. Like if I don't feel like painting, I just sit down in my office and I open Twitch. There's usually somebody painting there, and I put a one of their streams and just start interacting with them and then chat, and then seeing them paint, and just being feeling like I'm with friends. It really helps me when I'm feeling like I don't feel like painting right now, but seeing them and just feeling like I'm not alone in the moment, doing that really helps me for some reason. um so yeah, shout out to like Jamie Daggers is usually on, or I see Zambies sometimes in the morning
Mhm.
too, and also like some board gaming friends like uh, Panda Angel or Book of Nerds. Some of my friends that I know, they are streaming, and then that helps me to grab a brush and just start painting and just chat and talk to them. I don't know, for some reason that really really helps me more than just like listening to music or watching, I don't know, listening to an audiobook, which I do all the time. But for the times that I'm not feeling like I really don't want to do anything right now, but I've, it always is just a little bit. Once I start doing it, I just feel great. It's like going to the gym, like the
Yeah.
hardest thing is just to get there. Once you're there, you
Right.
usually have a good time and you run and you chat with your friends or whatever. And it's great. It's like, that was great. Why don't I do it more often? Sometimes it feels like that to just to get there, to sit down, grab your brush, get your water and your paints ready, and then once you're in the hang of things, it's just easy. So yeah,
So
that's what I do
what other projects or games are you interested in picking up?
right now. I have a lot of I have a lot of games. I'm happy with where I'm at right now. I am playing. I love mainly Star Wars Legion, Star Wars Shattered Point. I play Cthulhu Death May Die, a bunch of Simon games. I love like Ankh, Gods of Egypt. um, I love Blood Rage. Those are some of my favorite games that I love to play. But then I do have some projects. When it comes to my painting, I am painting some commissions for people. I've been working a lot with the Stormlight Archive miniatures, which they are from this author Brandon Sanderson. I don't know if you guys know them, but
Mm-mm.
he's a very known book author, and he wrote a bunch of books, and some of those are the Sunlight Archive, and the miniatures came out. So I've been painting a lot of those, and people
That's
are
cool.
asking me, could you make like tutorials about these, because So I'm really thinking about maybe doing some mini tutorials about for those miniatures. So those are some of the things that I have planned for
Yeah.
2025 so far.
So I have to ask you.
That's awesome.
You said you're into Star Wars Legion. How are you liking the new rules?
I haven't really played with the new rules yet. So the times I play, I just play with the old rules because I
Okay.
just play here with friends. You know, I'm not like, I don't have that competitive bone that I'm
Gotcha.
like, oh, I need to go to tournaments. I got to do this and that. So I just play very casual.
Okay.
So I haven't really played with the new rules at all yet, but I did see them, hear them. I know
Yeah.
people have mixed feelings about it, but I
Yep.
haven't really tried it myself to give you, you know, like a opinion.
Yeah,
But have you tried it? with
we
the
have
new rules?
not dived in yet. Like, it's going to be a lot of time to learn all those new rules, and unfortunately we're not
Mhm.
playing Legion this year at Adepticon. So I
Aw.
think that's going to be an after Adepticon project, is to learn all those new rules.
Mhm.
So I was just
Sure.
curious.
Sure. Yeah. Have you played Kami with the new rules?
Oh yes, many, many times.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're fabulous.
You think it works? It's more streamlined. It's better.
I streamline maybe. I don't know. The turn zero is still a little kind of choppy, but you know
Mhm.
it used to be choppy before. But I love the new cover rules. Absolutely love them.
Nice.
So yeah, I do. The missions are for the turn zero. The missions do seem a little similar on the surface, and I understand where people are complaining about that.
Mhm.
But if you dig into them, there's enough differences there that
Mhm.
I think you can make it um, a pretty unique game. It definitely takes a lot of the strength of the gun lines out of
Mhm.
the game, which were kind of making everybody kind of build the same list. Also, there's a whole lot of open area where they can spread out on all of the missions, and the who gets blue player and just all that stuff. There's a lot of room to expand, and I guess maybe being the ever hopeful person I am, I see the potential and I love it. I love
Mhm.
everything that I see.
Awesome. That
Great.
sounds fun.
So, Elle, now comes the
Mhm.
part of the show
Mhm.
where we
Sing a song.
we want where do we find you? If
I'm not gonna tell
somebody
you where I live.
perfect.
It's
um
not part of the deal, Cami.
no, you're right. You're right. So
But you can give
uh,
us a hint. How cold is it
you
there?
could. How cold is it there? Um where do we find you online?
Online. Yeah. I'm currently on the most active I am is usually on Instagram. Then under, what was it? At L. I can't remember if it's underscore or let me double check that because I don't want to give you. But I'm just finding by Elle Firespray, and you'll find me
It
on
is
Instagram
L.
and on Facebook as well. I am on X, and also I am in the process of opening a Blue Sky account. All my friends are there, and I'm not there yet. So I have a little sticky note here: create the account. So I'll be there soon.
Well,
I'm too
well, now
old
I'm gonna
for
bug you.
what's that?
Now I'm gonna bug you about Blue Sky.
Right?
Yeah, I literally
I don't have.
just signed up today, and I'm searching
Really.
everyone, and I'm like, why is nobody on this yet?
We we have a little section in the ward halls the other day that everybody was sharing their Blue Sky accounts.
Oh, I'll have to check that out
I
and
have to
add you
find that
guys.
because
So
I need to
I'm
follow
also
everybody.
yes,
yeah. I'm also on
so
YouTube, and I I used to stream every week, but I took a break from that, from all the commission work I have. So I'll would like to resume at some point, to go back to Twitch. Right now, I'm not doing it, but I will go back to that because it was really fun to be able to paint and talk with friends, once a week at least. And there was something I wanted to say, but I can't remember now. Anyways, so yeah, you can find me in different places online, and just you can just Google it and just see it there.
Well, just it is L_Firespray.
Okay,
At
and
least on at least
on
on
Instagram.
Instagram. Yeah.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
but I'm
Mhm.
sure your links are there too.
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say yes.
Okay. Well, I was going to say, do you have any questions for us or for the War Dolls in general?
um, I don't think so. I mean, I've been with the group for a while now, and it's always a good time to hang out with all of you, and sharing artwork, and I don't know, just books we're reading or movies we're watching or just geeky
Yes.
things in
Mhm.
general. It's been like, it's just really fun. So I really
Yes.
Yeah.
appreciate being part of the group.
I actually have
It
a
is. It is.
I actually have a great
Go
story
ahead.
about how I met Elle at Adepticon last
Oh,
year. So it was probably the Thursday of Adepticon. I had no idea about the War Dolls yet because I had not met Kimmy yet.
Right.
And
And she's
me
like,
and
who's this annoying girl in front of me?
no, not at all. We both happened to be in the same Gonk Droid racing event. And
Yeah.
she rolls up with this amazing resin, like koi pond based
Gonky.
yes.
gonk.
Yes. I
And I'm
saw
like,
it.
Gonky.
are you freaking kidding me? Like, mine looks like
I poured my
trash.
heart and soul in it. Okay, it's Gonky after all.
Mine looked like
I had
trash
to.
compared to hers.
No.
I'm like, what is this like beautiful, like
What is happening?
professional thing? And I'm like, who are you?
Stop it.
Come to find out she's a war doll, and I'm like, I know her.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It was so much
I
fun.
think I was last in that race. I'm not good at racing.
Yeah, but you look so good.
Yes.
You look
But
so good.
your gonk
And
looked fucking fire. Like, it was
right?
so good.
Oh, and but
Thank you.
Elle looked good too. Those
Oh.
you had the sparkly boots. Those were
Oh
fantastic.
yeah. Yeah, I'm a little flashy. I'm a little flashy at conventions.
Hey,
Well,
that's what you do.
no, not at conventions. In real life, I'm too like that. So yeah.
We all
Who am I
apparently
kidding?
need to step it up and get on Elle's level.
Right? We really do. Really
There's
do.
somebody from Brotherwise Games, this company that I work with, and one of the girls that work there said, "You gotta send me the link of the shoe so we can match next year."
Oh my god, that would be amazing.
Just share it in the War
So-
Dolls Discord, and we'll just all
Right?
show up in the
Yep.
same boots.
Hill's
Okay.
flashy shoes.
Yeah.
Man.
And our War Dolls t-shirts.
And a War Dolls
Wink,
t-shirt,
wink.
yes. Which I did order a second one, so I'll be sporting them
know.
around Adepticon this year. All right, so Elle, who do you think we should interview next?
Oh man, just so many amazing people out there. I will not even know where to start. I mean, there are really like great painters and hobbyists inside the War Dolls Discord already. So
Mhm.
I'll probably start there. And you
Well,
mentioned a couple before we even started recording. But
well, we're gonna hunt down all of them at some point.
Oh yeah,
oh yeah,
for sure.
But yeah, there are some, I mean, hobbyists that come to my mind that I'm familiar with. Like I love Sparkhammer Minis. She's like really sweet and super awesome painter. Jamie Daggers is another one I follow. Zambies, Widow Goblin as well. And I don't know. I follow a lot of them that are already part of the group already. So uh, there's one from the UK that she always posts really fun things. I can't remember her name. Kelsey, I think it is, or Kelly. I can't remember. Oh my goodness.
Carrie,
Yes, Carrie.
I've already reached out to her.
Yeah, she's really fun too.
She is fantastic.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
I'm looking
yeah,
forward
she
to
seems
her.
like a really fun person, and
Yeah.
it will be really interesting to hear her story as well.
Awesome.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for joining us. And
Yeah, of course.
for anybody so we covered your sites. Anybody looking for us, the War Dolls, you can find us at thewardolls.com. Um, and you can also find us on Instagram at the War Dolls. And that's got links to our Discord and our Facebook group. Discord is where it's at.
Yep.
This
Um,
story is where is that?
yeah, it
That's
is.
correct.
We have a lot of fun. And just come and check it out.
Come check
So,
us out.
yeah. So, thank you for listening and look for us next episode.
Thanks for joining us, Al.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me, guys. Bye bye.